Welcome to another edition of Northern Heat. My name is Bob Lennon, president of ThermalWood Canada and host for the show, and our special guest today, Bill Stack. And Bill, how are you today?
Fine, thank you. Well,
so Bill, you're the owner of Grenville Books, and you're located in Bathurst on the corner of McDonald and Evangeline. A lot of people still haven't figured out where you live, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born and raised in Montreal, but I spent my entire adult life living in Ontario. And for the past 35 years, I lived in Peterborough, Ontario, which I'm very fond of. I'm still very connected there. And through a neighbor of mine, I kind of landed up here.
Well, that's always a good thing, you know. So there's always different reasons on why people end up in Bathurst. So a neighbor talked to you about it and you ended up in Bathurst.
Exactly. Yeah. And I had no trouble fitting in here. And I'm quite social and this and that. But then I decided to open this business. This is a business I had in Toronto a number of years ago. I learned the business, and it suits my personality, and I really enjoy it.
So all the books in here are secondhand books? Or do you have new books in here too? Or
everything is secondhand. Many people have books that they either sometimes buy online and never get to read, but I'm very picky. It's the word I use to a lot of people. When people call me, do I buy books? Yes, I do. But I'm very picky, and I'll only buy what I know I can sell, and that's that. So I'm not interested in buying, books by the box or the truckload. It's things that I know. There's a good market in Bathurst here for books.
So the kind of books that you have in the store is a mixture of different.
It's a good mixture. It's a good mixture. I have some. There are some titles or some subjects that are not very. I have judo, for instance, that I've 5 or 6 books that they'll be sitting there for a while, but one day somebody will come and say, "Do you have?"
Yeah.
And I will say, "Yes, I do. I do." And I really like. I get a kick out of that when someone comes in and say, "I'm looking for this book," and I'd say, "Well, you'll find it right over there." And so it makes me happy, and it's because I guess I'm fond of what I sell. It's just not like it's easy to market. For instance, you can't. Let's say if you had a bin full of socks, well, you set a price. If it's a good price, people just grab it. But you can't do that with books.
Yeah.
Their books, men have their authors, the ladies have theirs. There's a lady who's currently very, very hot, and her name is Colleen Hoover. And she is just, and once or twice a week, I'll have someone come, "Do you have any?" I don't have one.
Because you can't get them.
Because who's ever buying them new, of course, is either hanging on to them or passing them on. So it'll take a while for them to filter down and appear here.
Well, it's kind of interesting too. So let's talk a little bit about how you get your books.
Right.
Because you say you buy some, but then you've also been, in some of our discussions, you said that you've been called up to go to homes.
Exactly. Recently, I was purchased a lot of books for. It was a customer of mine who he and his wife decided that they were going to sell their house and what's the word? Go down and
downsize.
Yeah. And he had a big collection, and I take people at their word. So I took the time, I drove out there, and as soon as I saw them, and he set the price, and it was agreeable. So it was really an easy bing, it was really good, and I enjoyed it. So I get calls. Some people say, "Can they give me books?" And they say donation. And what am I going to say? I'm certainly, I'm happy either way, but I'm always willing to buy books as well.
Well, when I was here last Saturday to meet you, you had a table set out outside, and I noticed a gentleman came by and dropped off a box of books for you.
Little box. Yeah, nice.
So that happens on a regular basis too?
Yeah, certain times. Spring, of course, when people are either moving or they're, house cleaning, and yeah, it can be, yeah.
But the other thing I've noticed is that you don't just have books in here. You're also supporting some of the local artists and you got paintings, and you've got small little woodworking craft that people have dropped by.
Right. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
So how all that happened, by you meeting people and talking to them, or customers?
Right. Well, I actually, through word of mouth, through customers of mine who who asked me, and of course there's would I be interested, and I never say no. I pretty well know if it's
So you moved here in 2017, I believe you told me, and then you opened up this store in 2019, just before COVID.
2019, yes. Right. Yes. Then COVID happened. Then COVID happened. Yeah. Of course, we had to close down for a while. And if you came into town, you could not, mask on, and you're not to talk. It's difficult for me in my day not to talk to someone.
Exactly. So it's coming on to 5 years.
Yes.
And,
5 years in June.
Great location, all kinds of windows around. People can see you, and you're welcoming anybody to come in at any time.
You bet. Yeah.
So how do they find you if they've got books that they'd like to sell?
Google
Okay.
is quite a tool. It's quite a tool. I get calls. My phone will, there were some people, their mother died near Jackettville.
Okay.
And the phone rang, it was an Ontario number. So I answered it, and who heard about just through Google. The Google used bookstores, and gave me a very, very nice donation. And we talked for a while. Her mother was a longtime member of the United Church, which I also am. And we really, it was really nice. After it was all closed, they'd sold their mother's house and everything. And she called me 2 or 3 months later, and we just talked just like that. So those are the things that I really enjoy. And
you told me too the other day that, you go through all your books and everything else. You know where everything is in here.
Pretty well. Pretty well. So I could honestly say, if someone comes in, they either show me on their phone, or they'll say, do you have such and such? And I can honestly say about 6 or 7 of times out of 10, I would know whether I would have it, or how obscure is it, how much of, is it, and so on and so forth. There's you haven't asked me if my favorite books, but a book that it's called How to Be Your Own Best Friend. And it's a great little book. It's an easy read, and there are so many things in it, which it's how to be. And it's really, It's been around for a long time, and I just love it. And it's hard to find. It's still in print.
Okay.
It's hard to find these days.
Well, the other thing too that I find in your store here is the fact you also have, you cater to the French community also, because you got a whole section.
I do, yes, I do, and I'm the back of the store is quite, and the word is spreading with that too, and I'm quite pleased with that. Yes.
And when I came in here the other day, you had a young gentleman here that's also francophone, so he helps you out on that side of the equation.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
So, this is great. You got a small business. You've moved here from Ontario. You're, definitely bringing something that the region, the community needs, because, every time I've been in, the people that are here are book lovers. They're in looking for specific things.
True.
And you've hired a young person from here, Alex, and you're also supporting local businesses around it. This is excellent.
Thank you.
Really appreciate that you're doing that for the community.
Thank you.
And coming from outside at the same time, which is interesting.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So, listen, I wish you the best with your business, and we'll push this out and let people know that you're in business here, and how they can reach you. And again, congratulations, and thank you very much for moving to our region.
Thank you.
And there we are, another edition of Northern Heat for this week, the place you come to listen to the stories that haven't been discovered yet.